sure we will be getting a lot of new viewers, so if you like what you see, then be sure to stick around. We strive to be as objective as possible in these matters. Let's talk facts, not fiction. Court is in session. The Karmelo Anthony stabbing case blew up fast. Headlines, social media, all of it. But instead of people looking for the truth, everyone's just picking sides. Team self-defense versus team he's a killer. But here's what matters. What does Texas law actually say? I pulled 36 Texas Penal and Education codes, 18 that could help him, 18 that work against him, and I'm gonna walk you through what each one actually means. This isn't a boring lecture. Let's dig in. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He's 17, he's scared. He brought a knife to a track meet. Why? That's what we're about to examine. Penal Code Section 9:31, self-defense, non-deadly force. If someone attacks you, you can fight back, as long as you didn't start it and the force is reasonable. This is the ground floor self-defense law in Texas. Penal Code Section 9:32, deadly force in self-defense. If Karmelo reasonably believed he was in danger of serious injury or death, he can use deadly force. But the key word is reasonably, not just scared, but justifiably scared. Penal Code Section 9:33, defense of a third person. If Austin was threatening someone else, a sibling, a teammate, and Karmelo stepped in, he could claim defense of another. But again, it has to be proportionate force. Penal Code Section 19:04, manslaughter, sudden passion. This law says if someone acts in the heat of the moment after serious provocation, it can drop a murder charge to manslaughter. Emotion matters, but it has limits. Penal Code Section 22:05, deadly conduct. If the knife was used recklessly, not with murder in mind, it might be seen as deadly conduct instead. Still a felony, but a lower one than murder. Penal Code Section 8:07, age of criminal responsibility. He's 17, that means adult court, but still, age might sway how sentencing and intent are viewed, especially for things like impulse and maturity. Penal Code Section 9:41, protection of property. This lets someone use force, not deadly, to protect property. Say if someone was stealing or damaging something like a tent. Weak defense, but still a layer. Penal Code Section 9:42, deadly force to protect property. Rarely applies. But if someone is robbing you at night and it's unavoidable, you can use deadly force. It's unlikely here, but people will bring it up. Penal Code Section 19:05, criminally negligent homicide. If there was no intent to kill, just a terrible mistake, the charge could drop to negligence, like you should have known better, not you meant to kill. Penal Code Section 22:01, simple assault. If the wound wasn't intended to be fatal, maybe it wasn't attempted murder, maybe it was assault with a weapon. Again, the intent debate. Penal Code Section 21:15, harassment as provocation. If Austin had been verbally harassing or taunting Karmelo, some will argue that sudden passion applies. Emotions can build up. Penal Code Section 46:01-6, knife definitions. Texas only restricts certain types of knives by location. If the knife was legal sized and not a switchblade or bowie, the defense may say it wasn't a prohibited weapon. Penal Code Section 46:03-D, exceptions for location restricted knives. Minors can sometimes carry certain knives in specific contexts. Schools are usually excluded, but you'll hear people stretch this. Education Code Section 37:007-E, expulsion exceptions. There's a tiny bit of wiggle room in school expulsion law for extraordinary circumstances. Could a student's trauma, fear, or bullying qualify? Education Code Section 37:006, discretionary removal. Instead of automatic expulsion, this allows schools to consider context like self-defense, threats, or provocation doesn't stop legal charges, but could soften school punishment. Penal Code Section 3804, evading arrest. If he ran from police, the defense might say it was panic, not guilt. Happens with teens a lot. Fear, not consciousness of guilt. Penal Code Section 3802, failure to identify. If he didn't give a name or cooperate, defense might argue it wasn't obstruction, just shock. Penal Code Section 2207, terroristic threats, reverse. If Austin threatened Karmelo with serious harm beforehand, it could justify why Karmelo was scared enough to bring or use a weapon. Here's where it flips. Everything we just talked about, these next laws either poke holes in those defenses or overpower them outright. Let's be honest, Texas law is not kind to kids with knives at school events. Penal Code Section 1902, murder. This is the big one. If you intentionally or knowingly cause someone's death, it's murder. And stabbing someone in the chest? Hard to argue it wasn't intentional. Penal Code Section 4603, weapons, prohibited at schools. You cannot carry a weapon, including knives over 5.5 inches, onto school grounds or any school-sponsored activity. A track meet, that's exactly what this law covers. Penal Code Section 46016, location restricted knife. A blade over 5.5 inches is location restricted. If Karmelo's knife was even a hair longer, it's illegal to have at a school event. No debate. Education Code Section 37007A1, mandatory expulsion. For deadly conduct, schools must expel students who bring or use a weapon with intent to harm. There's no maybe here, it's automatic. Penal Code Section 2202, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Even if he didn't kill Austin, stabbing someone with a knife is aggravated assault, a first-degree felony. It holds almost the same weight as murder in court. Penal Code Section 931B3, no self-defense if you started it. If Karmelo initiated a confrontation or escalated it, he loses all self-defense claims. You don't get to provoke a fight and then pull a knife. Penal Code Section 932B, limits on deadly force defense. Even if someone does threaten you, deadly force can only be used if they're using deadly force themselves. If Austin had no weapon, that's a big problem. Penal Code Section 1905, criminal negligence, doesn't cover intentional violence. If there's clear evidence Karmelo meant to stab Austin, especially in the chest, you can't downgrade it to negligence. Penal Code Section 2205, deadly conduct still holds weight. Even if murder charges don't stick, this code alone can put someone in prison. Reckless use of a weapon =, felony. Penal Code Section 941/9.42, defense of property is limited. You can't stab someone over a tent or personal belongings. Texas is clear, property is not worth someone's life, period. Penal Code Section 2115, harassment is not a justification. Verbal abuse, bullying, taunts, none of it justifies deadly force. That's emotion, not legal defense. Education Code Section 37005, suspension for serious misconduct even before expulsion. A student like Karmelo could be suspended immediately for dangerous behavior, and the school must report it to law enforcement. Penal Code Section 4201, disorderly conduct. If the incident caused panic, chaos, or violence at a public event, it adds this charge on top. That track meet was a public place with kids and families watching. Penal Code Section 3803, resisting arrest. If Karmelo fought with or ran from police, that's another felony. It also hurts the image of someone acting in self-defense. Penal Code Section 933, defense of third person, doesn't work without real threat. If Austin wasn't attacking someone else with serious force, this defense doesn't work. You can't protect someone from name calling or shoving with a blade. Penal Code Section 4603D, no knife exceptions for school events. Even if the knife was legal elsewhere, you can't bring it to a school event. Period. Penal Code Section 2207, threats from the victim don't justify killing. Even if Austin did make threats before, that doesn't give you the right to use deadly force unless the threat is immediate and unavoidable. Penal Code Section 3802, refusing to identify is a crime. If Karmelo refused to give his name or fled after the stabbing, that gives the impression of guilt, not fear. Everyone's picking teams, but the law doesn't care. This whole thing turned into a fandom. It's not a murder trial anymore, it's a popularity contest. He was bullied. He was defending himself. No, he's a killer. Look, I get it. Emotions are high, but justice doesn't care what team you're on. What matters is the law and the facts. Did he bring a knife? Did he use it? Was he justified in doing that? The answers to those questions backed by these laws are what's going to decide this case, not social media vibes. I want to hear from you. Do you think these laws help or hurt Karmelo's case? Are people overreacting, or was this a dangerous line crossed? Drop a comment, like, and subscribe if you want more legal deep dives that keep it real. No fluff. Catch you in the next one.